Why them Lucians so make them this?
Sui pui.
Some 2.5% HCSL thing
Is a tax vibe.
So what that have to do with people getting meg? But just now, to me them people paying VAT already.
Exactly. The tax is calculated on the cost of goods. So one time, the price go increase, Kuma. The Lucians end up paying more than 15%.
Mama!
Gasa, just imagine $100 go buy less groceries. People getting poor. Things like rent and utility bills go also increase, Gasa.
Real Malawi vibe?
All them things the people doing to stay healthy, like gym, healthy eating, and safety and security, go be harder to get because people ain't have money.
Partner, if them people have enough money, they go have leftover food for us to eat. The bins go be empty. Wow!
Things real happening to them Lucians. Look out for us again soon. We go show you all more.
I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say that at some point, and you all may have to deal with me because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know all that pretense about crime and who's pushing crime. I know what's happening behind the scene. What's happening behind the scene? I know. I also have something to say. I won't say it now about the crime in St. Lucia. I'll say that at some point, and you all may have to deal with me because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know.
The SLP's Conference of Delegates in Vieux-Fort, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre made a desperate attempt to rewrite history.
You will remember that the United Workers' Party only gave COVID support to NIC contributors.
This claim is absolutely false. The truth? In July 2020, under the UWP administration, 5,000 St. Lucians who were non-contributors of NIC received $500 per month for 3 months to help them survive the pandemic. Prime Minister Pierre knows the facts, yet he chose to lie to the nation. Why? To mislead and divide. St. Lucia deserves a leader who values integrity, one who speaks the truth, not one who tries to twist it. Pierre, Pabo, we need real leadership, not deception.
Caribbean American News Media, your Tuesday night power hour. Live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Oliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you. From politics to the economy, community stories to international headlines, we cover it all with real talk and real insights. Stay informed, get the facts, be part of the conversation. Don't miss out. Set your reminders, share with your friends, and tune in. Caribbean American News Media, the news you report.
They stream the tears and the cheers so clear. From the church to the pitch, they're always near. Tie the knot or score the goal, my friend. GVD TV's got you till the end. They stream the highs, they stream the lows, from wedding vows to final shows. never ends.
Welcome to the Caribbean American News Media Show, your premier destination for in-depth coverage, engaging discussions, and entertaining segments showcasing the rich tapestry of Caribbean American culture. Join us as we explore a wide range of topics, from current events and community spotlights to arts, music, cuisine, and more. Our show features exclusive interviews with influencers, artists, community leaders, and everyday heroes who are making a difference in the Caribbean American community. Stay informed and inspired with our thought-provoking segments that highlight the diversity, resilience, and creativity within our community. Tune into the Caribbean American News Media Show for a captivating blend of news, entertainment, and storytelling that celebrates the Caribbean American experience. Get ready to discover new perspectives, celebrate successes, and connect with the heartbeat of the Caribbean American community. Don't miss a moment of the action. Stay tuned to Caribbean American News Media Show for an immersive viewing experience like no other. Hashtag Caribbean American News, hashtag show, hashtag cultural celebration.
You are viewing Caribbean American News Media on YouTube and on Facebook. You can also find us on 360 Radio. Your host for tonight is Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work. You are viewing Caribbean American News Media on YouTube and on Facebook. You can also find us on 360 Radio. Your host for tonight is Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work.
American News Media, your Tuesday night power hour. Live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Oliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you. From politics to the economy, community stories to international headlines, we cover it all with real talk and real insights. Stay informed, get the facts, deep out of the conversation. Don't miss out. Set your reminders, share with your friends, and tune in. Caribbean American News Media, the news you report. Caribbean American.
Greetings to all. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media platform. Folks, it is good to be here with you. We are live on GVD TV, channel 115. We are also on our YouTube channel and also on our new TikTok channel. We are over there on Facebook also, so we want to greet everyone. We just had some technical issues that we had to rectify, but we are here and we are still experiencing that technical problem. If you look above my head, you'd realize that there's something shining up there. shining like the sun. Wise me. But greetings to all and welcome again to Caribbean American News Media Platform. I am your host for tonight, Garfield Oliver. We're looking forward to a beautiful, beautiful sitting here with all our Caribbean American news family. We also have an announcement concerning the program for this Caribbean American news program. We have been going for a number of years, and so we will make an announcement tonight. I will speak to you tonight as our valuable supporters. You've been with us on a very long ride. The journey has been long, of course, but we are here. We are here only because of the goodness of our loving Heavenly Father. And so thank you so much for being here with us. Share the live and tag a friend. We have a lot to do tonight. I want to start quickly. I'm going to give you good time tonight. Of course, I'm not going to shortcut you with the program, but there is a lot that we must discuss as usual, and you don't know where the program will go. Anytime I say that, there is always something that happens some way into the program, but I'm expecting all good by the grace of God tonight. How was your day? Jules and Jean France and Veronica and all my friends over there, Joyce Lynn on YouTube, and Ray, Janice, those of you over on our TikTok channel, and those of you who are viewing on channel 115 GVD TV Flow Television, folks, greetings to you. And to my friend Mr. Sotter over there in Denry, Sakafet Chibewed, Pamoli, Pile, Pakase. But thank you so much again for your love, your support as we continue to advance the business of the country. Let's take a break again. That glow is bothering me. There's a glow above my head. I'm not sure if it is the lighting or what, but I am getting a bit concerned about having this thing over me, and it is messing the stream up. So just bear with us as we make some adjustments. We'll be right back, folks. And by the way, tag a friend, share while we are taking this break for adjustment on the set. We're hoping that we can make an announcement tonight. And who knows? Bonjour. Alina, greetings. Lydia Francis. Mary. Mary is on. Stanislas is on from Soufrière. Let's see where the show is going to go tonight. Is it the last show? Or is it the beginning of the beginnings? I don't know. Stay tuned, my friends. We'll be right back. And I told you, we will be right back, and we are back. So I cannot do a lot of movement tonight because that defect is there, and I do not want it to mess our program up. By the way, families, we will have a program tonight, no matter what happened over my head there with the studio setting, whatever is going on there. It doesn't matter. We're going to have a show. All right. Thank you so much. Hey, my friend Chico is here, and Dr. Fletcher, my sister, my spiritual support is here, mother, and all the others. So we will make a big announcement tonight. Of course, many of you saw the announcement that I put out that I was going to have the last show tonight. I was going to end the program, but let's not go there now. Let's just deal with the bouillon of the matter, all right? So share the live and tag a. I want to speak to you in my rant, my opening rant tonight on nastiness. Nastiness should never be accepted or tolerated in a society, any society at all. It must not be rewarded. It must be condemned, must be called out, must be fought against. Yes, we must never allow nastiness to take root in our country or in the world. And I'm not saying that you will not fail at some point and get yourself involved in some nastiness to yourself. Of course, we're human beings and we make mistakes. But I don't make excuses for my mistakes. I don't really do. I use my faults and my faltering, my falling down. I use it as an opportunity to get back up again and to get back up much better than when I went down. Because we learn as we go along in life. And as you get older, friends, you learn, you gain experience. So the things that trip you over in the past does not trip you over again, or should not trip you over. All right? And let me say this. When I made that announcement that I am going to end the program tonight, there are a lot of wandering minds and mischievous minds who begin to put things together, not knowing the facts, and they begin to put 1 and 1 is 2. Could it be that he's joining the new party? Could it be that he is leaving the United Workers' Party? Could it be that he's with Johnny and he's just this one and he's this and that? Let me say something to you folks. What I hate the most is people questioning my commitment and my loyalty after all these years on this platform. The mapewees and the insults, the humiliation, and the constant attack and threats, even death threats. Yes, I do get death threats here on this platform. I'm going to play some voice notes that I'm going to play the lighter ones that you can deal with on social media, of course. I'm going to play 2 tapes of SLPs calling me, texting me, and having a go at me. While none of you are wrong to say, don't do it, I have to deal ever so often with the uncircumcised Philistines. But I take it like a man, because you see, the business of nation building is not an easy one. Many have lost their lives to make things better in a society. And I'm not new, I am not alone. There are a whole cloud of witnesses, a whole line of those who endure mapeweerization, insults, and disrespect. And from people that you don't know, you've never met, people who knew you maybe as a child, as a young boy growing up, and believe that they know you still and they can tell you what they want, when they want, and they can just say things, verbally abuse you. And they think that that is all right. But the problem is when your own supporters begin to question your integrity, your commitment to the work, then that is another blow or punch under the gut. And I want to say this, friends, don't question the commitment of those who are fighting in the front line. There are many of you who don't speak in public. You're hiding because you're afraid. You're trying to keep your job, and I understand that. Or you're trying to get some nice, gig somewhere, contract to clean a drain, to build a drain. And so you prefer not to ruffle the feathers of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And some of you are leaders in churches and you are afraid of your position, that people will call your pastor or call your leadership and tell them to get rid of you. You're no good. You're talking about politics. But man did not brought me here to do this. It was not the design of any human being why I am standing here. And I will tell you this, I wait for more people to come on to tell you the future of this program. But man did not orchestrate what I'm doing here. It's divine intervention. And that's why ever so often you got to remind yourself why you are doing what you're doing, why you are here, and avoid allowing stumbling blocks to get into your path in achieving that goal. And I say to you, I love every one of you. Even those of you who wish bad and you say little things sometimes that you don't know, you assume, or you get into little groups and you say things that you don't know about. It's dangerous. It's sad. But the work will continue, and the work should continue because there is a cause. There is a cause. And we are very close to closing the page on all the nastiness that we have endured. We are very close to closing a chapter of threats and the cloud of darkness that are sometimes dispatched at you. But greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. I'm persuaded tonight that I am on the right track. Very much persuaded. And I ask for intestinal fortitude and backbone of steel to stand like the brave and be counted among those whose voices would have been sounding the alarm with all the nastiness in our society. And be the brave one as a Christian with all the pastors and leaders of churches hiding behind pulpits and whispering in little groups and corners with their red flags and their yellow flags. I choose to stand out publicly and contend for this cause and to speak up based on my conviction, my conscience. What we need in this society is more brave spiritual leaders that will speak up, that will stand up and be counted for, instead of cowering and hiding behind pulpits and hiding behind gowns and robes. And condemn and call those who speak up, who dare to speak up for what is right, what they are convinced and convicted of as right. I choose to speak, and I make no apologies to anyone for speaking. Today, the SLP have a pastor, the guy that I love, Danny Butcher, one that I listen to as a preacher man, a pastor. They now have a pastor as a candidate in Vieux Fort. And now it is the best thing that Pastor Butcher can do. It's the best. Oh my God, this guy is such a spiritual leader. That's what they're saying now. But for me, I was the worst Trump. I was the worst Seventh-day Adventist. Now you have another Adventist, Butcher, who is in the lion's den in Vieux-Fort. And they're cheering on, they're clapping. But I am the false prophet. And he is the right prophet because he's on their side. So I am not convinced when these people speak with their hypocrisy and their nastiness. I am not swayed by it. I answer to one man, and that is Almighty God. And I say, let God be the true God, and let every other man be a damn liar. And so let's move on. So I want to introduce to you, folks, an individual I don't know. I've asked the person to identify themselves, of course. But the person did not. I'm going to play live on the air tonight an individual that I know not, but send 2 voice notes to me, and I want you to listen. And then we're going to go back in times, and we're going to do some unearthing and some reminders to the St. Lucia Labour Party that they're not the only party in town, that there's a party called the United Workers' Party. And they have secured the support of more than 30,000 St. Lucians. Don't forget that the United Workers' Party is still a force to be reckoned with. The United Workers' Party, they're still a conservative party that loves their country and only want the best for it. So let me play this gentleman, his first message to me, and that was on Saturday past. And by the way, Mr. Mondesi, I don't want you to bring your nastiness here, okay? We're not going to tolerate it tonight. Take your nastiness, Anthony Mondesi, take your nastiness somewhere else. You can find other platforms that insults women, threatens to beat the opposition leader, threaten people all over the place. You can find other platforms with the F notes and all the nastiness. You can find another one over there where you can practice this. But on this platform, we will recognize holiness, righteousness, that which is good. And that's the standard we will hold under this platform. So I'm going to ask you, sir, to control your nastiness. Hold it, you can stay, but hold it until you can get to one of your other platforms where you can express that nastiness under those lives. But here, this space is controlled by me. And I'm saying to you, take heed of that warning. Enough with the nastiness in the society. It's going to stop right here, right now, on this platform. So I'm asking you, and I will ask you like a child, please, please, stop it. Now I'm going to play another set of nastiness from one of your people. Message to me, of course. Listen, let me make sure that the volume is up.
Good morning, Garfield. Yeah. Let me tell you something. If you can point one thing Alan Chasney did for the poor people in St. Lucia, or for the country itself, or showing that he had concern for St. Lucia? Point it out to me. Point it out to me. Point whatever you see Alan Chasney was doing for St. Lucia. Alan Chasney was the worst prime minister in St. Lucia. And he said already, the mistake that he do, he will not do that mistake again. So I don't know why y'all coming out and saying, oh, Alan Chasney was the best prime minister and this and that. In what way? What way, Mr. Garfield, brother Garfield, whatever Garfield? What way? The man didn't do nothing for pensioner. He didn't do nothing for the poor people in St. Lucia. He didn't do nothing for the workers in St. Lucia. Just take our money and give it away to foreigners. And you telling me that's the best prime minister? Take our money, take our heritage and give it to foreigners. Taiwanese give us a abattoir. $20 million. Build it. What did Alan do with it? Break it down and never build back. To our people in St. Lucia. Man break down cluster the streets. Never build back. Man uncover the stadium in Beaufort. Up to a day like today, still they opening. You're really, okay. I don't have a problem. You have your party. You supporting your party. But don't talk nonsense and talk garbage, man. You know better than that. You know better than that. So you're not seeing what Pierre doing. You're not seeing the Prime Minister, Philip J.P., what is they doing. You're not seeing the benefit everybody, like the minimum wage, the LIAC workers, majestic workers, pay to the civil servant when Alan couldn't pay it, and he said the country is broke. Philip J.P. come and do all of that. Huh? Come on, man. You all have a conscience, man. You all have a conscience. And even like unemployment, single digit, my brother. And you all not seeing that? You all still seeing the money is doing bad? Huh? Construction work all over the country, short in cement, material, and whatever. You're not seeing that? School student, CXC, scholarship. Come on, my brother. You're deaf and blind, man. And you all will stay there for a very long time. You see how you all talking? You all will stay there until, and you see what will happen to you all. You all will not even have a voice when we finish with you all. You all will not even have a voice. You all will not even come out. You all will fight among yourself even more than you all are doing now.
All right, folks. So that was tape number 1. Now, I want you to bear some boudin on this one. You got to have some stomach as we go through these 2 tapes. So, Chibekau, pile pakase. But let's go through this, all right? One step at a time, folks. So, first of all, I have never said to you or anyone that Alan Chasney is the best prime minister. Why? Because John Compton is the best prime minister, was the best prime minister. There has never been another one like John Compton, sir. So I never said Alan Chasney. So you got your stuff a little mixed up. And I didn't know when. I've never seen when Mr. Philip J.P. implemented minimum wage. Maybe that's why you have all this nastiness in the country. Everybody is in rage. Chopping, shooting, in all kind of story, cussing people mother. Maybe that's why you sound like you're having a little rage there on me, because you were given, of course, like you said, minimum rage. So if I were you, I would get rid of the minimum rage and maybe cool out, drink some water and relax yourself. And by the way, you can call me brother, you can call me whatever you want, but it's not the whatever. You don't approach people as whatever. You address people like a normal citizen. So I'm teaching you, when you're speaking, when you're communicating with people, then you want to have a little more respect. All right? I'm just giving you some. And it seems we got to school people like they're little children now, big people who should have some manners, some brought up. See, of course, they themselves would have had grandchildren and they would have children, that they would hope that those children will go out there and have some manners and some respect. Of course, you address people and respect people's opinion, and you don't say what you just say there, of course. But I agree with you, if it's minimum rage that you have, then I can help you. If you call me, I can deal with you as someone who studies psychology, and maybe we can have a conversation on your minimum rage. But on that, don't bring the minimum rage here. Just keep it for private. We can talk about that. But let's go on to the second tape. Gets a little funny here because he's now speaking about my family. Yes, he's speaking about my family. So you would want to listen to this one, of course. It gets a little fun here for me. Remember, we're dealing with minimum rage, okay?
Give the farmers hope, high hope, saying like banana will go to France, Martinique. How many boxes that go? How many boxes that go to France and Martinique, Gaffil? Come out and speak out. What they did for the farmer during the COVID, what the Minister of Agriculture was saying to the farmer, $1,500. He said that they cannot manage. He said that the farmer cannot manage $1,500. Your father, not your father, your stepfather, Brother Amosin, he was a farmer. And you telling me that brother couldn't manage $1,500 to manage his farm? You telling me that, Gaffil? Are you telling me your stepfather, Brother Amosin, couldn't manage $1,500? And they say like they will not give him any kind like money. And what they will do, they will buy plant and give them. And this is what the farmer needed. Answer me question. Yeah. Answer me. The man take another $7.3 million. Give it to a man that they have no background of medical report, medical institute thing, or vaccine or medicine, no kind of background, and take our money and give it to the man. And up to a day like today, we don't have the money, we don't have the vaccine, and he wanted to drag Barbados into that, but Barbados, me and Motley say no. He will not put a dime into that unless he don't know, she don't know. And we, as stupid as we are, letting our white people brainwash us. You don't find like the white people brainwash us too much or take advantage on us too much? You don't find that?
No.
You don't find that, Gaffil?
No.
And you come in and back talk Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre have a better education knowledge than your white man, Alan Chasney. Even more than you two. And you want to come out and speak bad about Mr. Pierre, our Prime Minister. Listen to me. That man have knowledge.
And usher him out.
He have knowledge. He have understanding. He hearing what the people are crying for. And he start from the bottom. He start from the bottom going up. Most of the prime minister that passed in St. Lucia already, they start from the top, from the riches and going down. And sometimes they don't even reach at the bottom to help our poor people. But Mr. Pierre, Philip Joseph Pierre, start from the ground and growing up, and like everybody benefited. Everybody having something. Yeah. Putting money in our young people, entrepreneur, to invest in their own self. Give them a booster so they can start something for themselves. What did Alan do for them? How many scholarship Alan did give to the poor people for our poor children in St. Lucia? The laptop program for our poor people in St. Lucia, what did he do? He stopped it. What did he do with the rest of the laptop? Take it to Tapillon school, where they have all the richest children going to school. He give it away from there. You all forget? Huh? You all forget?
Yeah.
Come out and answer me, Garfield.
Yeah.
Come out and answer me, and you can give me a call. Because long time I call you to tell you to call me, but you never did. Now I'm reaching back to you.
No, please.
You need to stop them garbage thing, man. Bad talk in your own country, the country that you grew up. You don't born there. You didn't born in St. Lucia, but you grew up in St. Lucia and you want to bad talk our country. Huh? Because you're in a foreign country. Man, let me tell you something. I'm born and raised in St. Lucia. Right now, I don't live in St. Lucia, but I will not allow anybody to come out and bad talk my country, and I will not take them on. Okay? I will not allow anybody, like foreigners like you, to come in our country and bad talk our country, and I will stand for that. Your mother living in St. Lucia up to a day like today. Okay? Your mother is living out in St. Lucia. Your brother in St. Lucia. So you need to stop it. You need to stop it.
Okay.
Your mother have both going to sea because your stepfather live it. But the boat is still at work. When they ask for a rebate, what did Alan say to them? They are using the road to sell fish and whatever, so they are using the road. They have to pay it too. What did Pierre do? Come back. When Pierre come, what did he do to the fishermen? Give them rebate. Give them rebate on the gas. Alan didn't do nothing for them and for your mother. And I know your mother is a supporter of them. What did they do? Nothing. You need to stop it, Brother Garfield.
No problem.
Stop it. If you have to say something good. Because you will see Pierre doing well done, well good for our country. And even like 4 years in a row, growth have been growing up. And under Alan Chasney, that was the worst. Worse in the Caribbean, in the OUCS. Worse. And you want to come and say Alan can manage? What Alan could manage? His own father come out and say he cannot manage money. That's why he not behind his father property. His father will never put him behind his business. He cannot manage. When he was managing Air Jamaica, what did happen to Air Jamaica? Go back to your history. What did Alan do to our money in St. Lucia? Go on and spend money uselessly, lavishly. And you want to come and compare Mr. Pierre with Alan Chasney? Come on, man. Alan can never come into Mr. Pierre's shoes. Not even reach by the side of Pierre's shoe. Man, go back on, and you all will soon. Today we have 4 years. Just one more year going. Just one more year. and you always see what will happen to you. Tanto, tanto.
Yes, my friends, tanto, tanto. Now that's the end of the drama. I told you guys to brace yourself. Mwedi's up pile pa kase, men wa shay mun ka kase. Be kute, monsieur, kute. So, the gentleman, the guy said that my white man, now I am male, sir. I don't have a white man. I have a wife, and she's black, of course. I don't know what part of the foreign country you're from, of course, but I'm sure you're in somebody else's country and you treat it like it's your own, of course. You're in their politics and you're all in their business up there, ain't it? I am thinking that you're somewhere in the US or Canada, of course. And I'm sure you're surrounded with a lot of good white brothers who pays you, of course, for your service, because you work with one of them. You work with a few of them, of course. And it's not a problem. It's a good thing. So I'm just trying to help you, sir, with your hypocrisy. You're in a foreign land, one. You're in the white people place, two. You're not in your country. And things are so nice. Why don't you go back to your country and enjoy the niceness? Why don't you go back and try one of the hospitals? Over that, yeah? Why don't you go back? Oh, everything is good. And by the way, my mother don't have any boat, sir. And by the way, sir, you and your SLP gangs destroy our bananas and destroy our sheds during the strike. Don't forget, sir, that it was you guys who burned that same shed down by Bell Fashion. And we had to build it back from scratch. You guys cut our bananas during the strike. It was you, not Alan Chastney. Hello, I got you, ain't it? I got you. Yeah, it was you guys. It's well documented that it was the SLP who burned those sheds down. Yeah, and cut our bananas down. Yes, I was there. I don't know who you are. I'll find out. But you, sir, earned the title of a hypocrite. And I don't know what you just said. You said about tripreneur. I don't know what that is. So maybe you can clarify what you're trying to say there. Tripreneur or trapreneur. I don't know what part of St. Lucia that is. Of course, I don't know if that is your famous meal. I don't know. I don't know what Strapreneur, if that's a new company in St. Lucia, but I suspect you will want to clarify that while you're at it. All right? So have a good night. And I'm done with you, Mr. Minimum Wage. All right? So you can just clarify that minimum wage thing. I don't know what that is too, so that we can move forward. But let's go on with our business. So let me remind Mr. Minimum Wage, Mr. Racist Man, about some things that he might want to pay attention to. All right? I'm not taking calls yet, folks. So let me just remind him, Mr. Minimum Wage. Hold a minute.
Does it, as a matter of national security, sir, are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
Very good. So, does it? Let me please allow me to finish, sir. Are you at all concerned that in the two cases which the DPP has referred to the Commissioner of Police for
I do
arrest?
Not know that.
Let me finish my question, Prime Minister. The two cases.
So, Prime Minister said what? None of your business. We're going down memory lane. We're going down memory lane. We're going down.
Cannot lie so bold-faced. Jamais. Somebody cannot be lying so bold-faced.
The proposed redevelopment project is estimated at the cost of US $175 million. The structured financial package is procured in 2 tranches, the first being US $100 million.
Past chairman of the Tenders Committee for the St. Lucia and Seaports Authority, Oswald Augustine, has taken issue with Prime Minister Philip Pierre's comments criticizing the former Alan Chastney administration for relocating the Huronura International Airport as part of the airport redevelopment project, saying that it was only feasible to do so. He countered the statement about the absence of tendering. Mr. Augustine explained that the Exim Bank of Taiwan borrowed the then UWP government of St. Lucia US $100 million on condition that the lending institution provide its own contractor.
If you didn't use their contractor because they want to see how the money is being spent, they wanted a contractor whom they were comfortable with. So the contract was given to OECC, which is a Taiwanese firm.
He further explained that SLASPA still needed an additional US $75 million, which was financed by a consortium of banks, to complete the project, which was subjected to stringent vetting processes, incurring additional legal expenses. He denied claims of cost overruns, stating that the foundation was completed in the allotted time and within the budget.
Now, 2016, a new government came in. Plans, they started the airport about 3 years after they came in, trying to give us that airport which we so desire. We need it. We have been left behind. Barbados have, Antigua has theirs, Bahamas, everywhere. We have an airport which would have taken us to a good few years beyond. But when you tell me you want to go with a PPP with IFC, when they're going to own your airport, and then give it back to you 30 years after. That's madness, because 30 years after, you will be paying for a lot of maintenance.
We questioned the Prime Minister regarding Mr. Augustine's statement, and this was his response.
Mr. Augustine, Oswald Augustine, he said that. Oswald Augustine. He also said that. He also said that you were telling untruths.
Former chairman of the United Workers Party.
Is your contractor?
Well, he said that they were.
Have a good day, gentlemen.
The Prime Minister made the remarks on his way to Monday's meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
We want to thank DBS for that clip, but we're going down the road. Let's keep going, folks.
3Years, I apologize. Very simple. 3Years, I apologize. Very simple.
Maybe that's why my caller is saying that PGP is the best and I should speak good things. I'm going to play all the good things, the beautiful things that Mr. Pierre has been up to lately. So let's just switch over to Mr. Chastney for a while. Let's just switch over there. And so we're going to go back to an interview from the Honorable Alan Michael Chastney. Let's roll that clip.
It's going to take me 3 years to get the finances of this country fixed. $1 billion of bonds that have to do this year. I mean, I don't know if people truly understand the impact of that on being able to manage your money on a daily basis, because if those bonds don't renew, there is no sinking fund. You've heard the former government talk about there's no need for sinking funds. The sinking fund is to give you the latitude that if something goes wrong, that you can still run. If I don't get a bond turnover, that money comes out of my cash flow. And that cash flow means that something has to pay the price. Somebody is not going to get paid. Some project is not going to happen. So our goal is to restructure this country, fix up the physical infrastructure, fix up the human infrastructure, and change the financings of this country so that we have access to affordable resources. It's when we have those things in place that the country now will be in a position to grow. So when you look back historically as to why is it the country grows 1 year and then comes back down and goes negative, it's because the capacity for it to grow on a consistent basis isn't there. It's going to take me 3 years to get the finances of this country fixed. $1 billion of bonds that have to do this year. I mean, I don't know if people truly understand.
Now, folks, I want to let you know that this was in October of 2017, and we know that the elections was in 2016, where you had the St. Lucia Labour Party government under Kenny Anthony and Philip J. managing the country. They handed over the country in 2016 in a financial mess. All the talk that they're talking there about the stability and Chasney left nothing for us. Chasney, folks, you must never forget. In 2017, billions and I gotta laugh because these self-righteous, sanctified SLPs want you to believe that when they are managing the country, that it is all rosy and everything is nice. While everything is falling apart, they're saying to you, nothing to see, everything is nice. Remember, in 2016, the country was in a financial mess. Do you understand what I'm reminding you of? Now, they would love you to forget that this Mr. Alan Chasney took a country on the brink of collapse. And he asked you guys to give him 3 years at least to get the financials together. That's how messed up it was. And remember the good quote from Kenny Anthony, something happened. I don't know. Something happened. And during that time, folks, during that time, it is these very same SLP supporters who are jumping all over the place about mismanagement and Chasney mess up everything. It is those same SLP supporters and surrogates who were saying to you while everything is falling apart around them and you, they were saying to you, nothing to see here. Everything is okay. We have the best prime minister. All is well. Everything is good. Remember, they could not borrow anymore. Tout est bouché. Couldn't go anywhere. Labour Party are passé because tout bouché. And so when all the tools was bouché, they said to you, something happened. And we just couldn't borrow anymore. Nobody was borrowing money. Huh? Don't you people forget and allow this nastiness to distract you from the history of the St. Lucia Labour Party. So in 2017, a government just comes in 2016. The country is in a physical mess. 2017, Chasney is fighting for his life to get this thing together, trying to figure out how to be traveling all over the place, making phone calls, trying to figure out how to get around this. And by the way, all the traveling that he did, he was able to bring home the bacon. Well, I don't eat pork, of course. Why is me? He was able to get this St. Lucia that you're fighting over right now, and you're cussing him off for trying to pull this ship together. This same Alan Chasney, I want to remind you, the same Alan Chasney and his team pulled the ship back from the brink. They had to drag the ship back to the brink. And in 2017, as these fellas about to see success, you know what happened? You know what happened? Little did Mr. Chasney and his team know, because he's not God and not perfect, that there was a major disaster ahead of him called COVID-19. So you get a bad economy, a disaster is spending and you don't know it's there, you have no money, and just as soon as you pull this thing together and it seems as though the country was about to take off, COVID stepped in. Now remember, friends, the country was handed over in a mess. If you think COVID-19 did anything to your country, you think about what COVID Kenny did to your country financially and his gangs. The same guy who, Buddy, the guy who just sent me that voice note, is saying to you, is the best prime minister. He was there. He was there with Kenny Anthony. His hands was in the pot too. No wonder them fellas are saying to you that Philip Japere is the best prime minister and has done more than any other government. In other words, they're throwing Kenny Anthony straight under the bus. That's what they're doing, you know. They don't realize that they're insulting their own Labour Party guy and saying that none of them have done what Philip Japere did. That's what they're saying. It's not Chasney alone they're putting in the bouillon, you know. Kenny too. A disaster. A hospital. Nobody know what was happening. Contractors can't talk to Kenny. Nobody can find nothing. Everything is a mess. Disaster. Columns in the middle of the hospital. You remember those times, folks? And up come the Minister of Health, Alvina and all the others. These are the same players who are there now. And they say to you, the hospital will be opened in the next 2 or 3 months. It was this same SLP government. And I'm just here to remind you, of course, lest you forget that them fellas' hands are not clean. Them fellas are a good mess themselves. It was the same people. Alison Shaw, permanent secretary, all of the same gang, same people, friends. Same people who are now the savior of St. Lucia. Who destroy your country. And them fellas even sell the very seabed that you bathe on. Remember? Grindberg, Rochamel, and all the drama. Don't you remember? Don't you remember the Jamaicans coming down to investigate the police? Don't you remember they said to you, Buddy was the nastiest politician in St. Lucia? Don't you forget it was the same Labour Party. They're trying to separate themselves from Kenny Anthony's Labour Party, you know. No. Same Labour Party. Don't let them fool you. Same Labour Party. They're the ones who brought the Jamaicans down. They're the ones who told you that Buddy was the worst thing in politics. They're the ones who went to Barbados and told Barbados that there was a crook in government. Very bad person. And that you should take away his visa because he's the worst thing in the Caribbean. Don't forget, it was these same fellas. You see them now. Oh, they love Buddy. Oh, they defend Buddy with vigor. And you look at some of the players, you know, the very same players who say to you that Buddy was the nastiest. Is now saying to you, Buddy is the best. Buddy is a good guy. Don't you forget, folks. Don't you ever forget what these fellas said to you about Buddy. Don't you ever forget what they did to you in 2000 and between Kenny Anthony's time up to 2016. Don't let them come with their self-righteous self to tell you that all was well, when all by all account, was a mess.
Of that. On being able to manage your money on a daily basis, because if those bonds don't renew, there is no sinking fund. You've heard the former government talk about there's no need for sinking funds. The sinking fund is to give you the latitude that if something goes wrong, that you can still run. If I don't get a bond turnover, that money comes out of my cash flow. And that cash flow means that something has to pay the price. Somebody is not going to get paid. Some project is not going to happen. So our goal is to restructure.
All right, let's go over to our next clip quickly.
For Castries South, while presenting his negative motion, did point out, or he claimed rather, that the range developers agreement was not in accordance with CIP regulations, and he did ask that you follow the right procedure or else the opposition will react. Now, of course, when you stood, you did not address it, the CIP, which was seen as arrogant by in some quarters. But could you just speak to the member for Castries South's claim regarding the regulations?
So CIP doesn't control the money. It has nothing to do with CIP regulations. CIP is just a processing agent. They approve the application. The funds are collected by CIP and then transferred into what they've called an economic fund. What I kept on laughing at Mr. Hilaire for, because it's the hypocrisy. Okay, and they throw out terms and they throw out things and make it look out to be. And we said it when we were in opposition. You came to the House after you passed the act. You never included the regulations of the CIP. You said, oh, it's not necessary. We'll come to the House and we'll debate it at some time. We never did. They brought it in as an SI. So it was never a debate on the regulations. We argued that there was no regulations on the economic fund. So there is no regulations on the fund. The fund goes in and it's for the government to determine where it wants to send the funds to. If the government decides it wants to take those funds and give it in the form of a loan to a developer, and I'm getting now the land, to her point, as collateral for that land. So it means I'm taking CIP funds that would have normally gone into the real estate component. I mean, I hope everybody understands how the real estate component works. That you approve the project. So there was 4 projects that the former government approved under the CIP project. They didn't even adhere to their own standards. All those projects were supposed to have planning approval. Had to be sufficiently advanced in order to know that they were going to happen. None of them were. Boca doesn't have planning approval. Not even submitted a drawing of what the project is going to be. They approved the range project under the CIP. There was no submission to DCA. Sabusha, same thing. So what we're doing differently, and I've said it repeatedly, is that we're passing legislation to create now what's it called, a sovereign fund. And in that sovereign fund will be all the regulations, all be the rules, and it'll be independently managed. Because I firmly believe the fund should not be going through the real estate portion. Because when the money goes through the real estate portion, right, they're getting the benefit. The developer gets the benefit of your sovereign wealth. He's getting that money capital free. That's free money that they're getting, $300,000. And I'm saying, why should the government leverage the sovereignty of the state and allow a developer to be able to get that money? Whereas I'm saying, let's put the money into the donation, allow the money to go into the economic fund, and now if I want to, I can lend that money to the developer, but because it means that the state is getting the development, plus they're getting their capital back. Versus me saying, I let you take this money, and I close my eyes, and I hold my breath, and I hope that the development takes place. And in fact, only one major developer has succeeded in that model, and that's actually Range. So you go around the Caribbean, you see that there are all these half-started buildings that are not finished, simply because there's no accountability in that regard. So if Mr. Hilaire was truly interested in CIP, he would have never been the chairman of CIP. Okay? Not only because of his involvement in the Jafali affair, but he knew and he was intending to become a politician. He is the one, and the Labour Party is the one, that have politicized the CIP. And I'm doing everything I can to depoliticize it. The chairman, he's not political. Everybody who knows Ryan DeVoe can't tell me they've ever seen Ryan DeVoe at political meetings or heard Ryan espouse his preference one party over another party. I've put him there, why? Because he took a bank from St. Lucia, a development bank from St. Lucia, and grew it from zero to a major bank. So he has the experience in that area. I've taken a CEO that has all the experience in the world in doing due diligence and trying to professionalize the staff. We're going to separate the marketing component from CIP away from the CIP and put it in with Invest. Because there are people who are obviously concerned that you're out marketing and you're approving. And so in nuance of the world today, people see that as a conflict, particularly in a highly regulated sector. So I'm committed to being transparent to the people of St. Lucia. We're committed to seeing this program work. And we're committed that at the end of the day, solutions will be able to go to the sovereign fund and see funds. A great example is Norway, and that's who I'm taking my lead from. So Norway has a sovereign fund that has $1 trillion in it. And all they do is the interest off of that sovereign fund is what goes into the recurrent expenditure. Whereas in Trinidad, the vast majority of the money that they were earning from oil, right, went into recurrent expenditure. And so here's how it hurts you. The revenues 4 years ago from oil in Trinidad was $3.2 billion US, and today it's $500,000.
Member forecast.
So, folks, you tell me. You tell me what you think. Let me play something for you. We'll open the lines, folks. I see some of you trying to get us. We'll open the lines early. But let me just play something for you. I don't have time to bring it over to the system, of course. But I want to thank the person for sending this, all right? Listen to Kenny.
Something happened that made the situation different. And it is the first time St. Lucia has experienced this. This time around, we could not borrow to finance the deficit. That is the crux of your problem. St. Lucia could have gone along its merry way for the next couple of years very easily if it could borrow money to pay for the deficit. It would have put us in more trouble down the road.
Down the road, yes, later on.
And certainly we would have collapsed. But we would have bought time, but we can't now because, generally speaking, institutions in the region are unwilling to lend governments. And let me just give you an example of what I'm getting at. A lot of people have heard of something.
Folks, don't call yet. Don't call yet, folks. Don't call yet.
Money for development purposes by issuing bonds. These are really paper instruments that say to those who take those bonds, look, at the end, if you lend us $10 million, at the end of 10 years, we're going to give you the 10 million back plus an annual interest rate of, let us say, 10% or 5%. So if you lend us 100 million, then you get 10 million in profits or whatever the case might be. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, last year, and this is where the crux of the problem is, we wanted to issue bonds of $266.5 million. But we actually were able to raise only 45.5 million.
That's a significant difference.
In other words, we were not able to raise 221 million. Likewise, we wanted to raise short-term loans of 38.9 million, but we were only able to raise 29.3 million. Again, a shortfall of 9.6 million. So what has happened here is that we cannot turn to borrowing to fix up our deficit because banks, individuals, and institutions who used to lend before are no longer lending governments. They're insisting that they will lend you if you get your financial house in order. And in our case, getting our financial house in order means that we have to bring down that fiscal deficit from where it is at 5.8% below 4%. That's the key.
So, Folks, I'll take your calls. Just give me some time here. So for my friend who came onto the live earlier, who's saying, well, Kenny Anthony said in the House that he gave Alan Chastney the best economy and everything was fine. That's not what Kenny is saying here. You know what it is to get your house in order? Do you know what that means? It means that your house is not in order, it's in disorder. Is that true? Well, for those of us who have a little something up there in the hello, that's what Kenny is saying. Something happened. We were not getting any monies from anyone. They were saying to us, go fix your house. Your house is a mess. But those hacks will want you to think that Kenny Anthony handed over such a beautiful country, and we don't know why he was voted out. He handed us such a beautiful country. And Chastney mashed it up. No, you handed him a mash-up country. That's what you handed him. Can we agree on that? For once in our life now, let me see what West is saying here for those on television. West is saying on the little Facebook chat, Garfield, I hope you understand what Dr. Anthony was saying there. So he's saying to me, of course, an SLP supporter, that I don't understand what Kenny Anthony was saying. So maybe he's trying to say that Kenny Anthony was saying beautiful things. Everything was nice. The country was doing very well, booming with activities, no problems at all. But we were not able to get money still. Yeah, and we had to get our... Folks, permit me before I take the calls. I'm going to take all the calls. We'll end the show on calls. Let me just go back over this clip for those who are saying to me that I don't understand what Kenny Anthony is saying. The country was fine. The radars were working. The Coast Guard, they had engines behind their boats, and the roads were okay. The airports, the hospital, the OKEU was open. We could have opened that thing after the grand $1 million grand celebration opening for the bourgeois, of course. But everything was fine. Listen.
Something happened that made the situation different, and it is the first time St. Lucia has experienced this. This time around, we could not borrow to finance the deficit. That is the crux of your problem. St. Lucia could have gone along its merry way for the next couple of years very easily if it could borrow money to pay for the deficit. It would have put us in more trouble down the road.
Yes, later on.
And certainly we would have collapsed. But we would have bought time. But we can't now because, generally speaking, institutions in the region are unwilling to lend governments. And let me just give you an example of what I'm getting at. A lot of people have heard of something called bonds. And we normally finance the deficit or obtain money for development purposes by issuing bonds. These are really paper instruments that say to those who take those bonds, look, at the end, if you lend us $10 million, at the end of 10 years, we're going to give you the $10 million back plus an annual interest rate of, let us say, 10% or 5%. So if you lend us $100 million, then you get $10 million in profits or whatever the case might be. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, last year, and this is where the crux of the problem is, we wanted to issue bonds of $266.5 million. But we actually were able to raise only $45.5 million.
That's a significant difference.
In other words, we were not able to raise $221 million. Likewise.
Okay. Hold, folks. Let's go back to Mr. Chastney for a minute. Just hold your horse there. Hold it. Mr. Chastney, once again.
While presenting his negative motion, did point out, or he claimed, rather, that the range developers agreement was not in accordance with CIP regulations. And he did ask that you...
No, let's do this one instead.
Fix up the human infrastructure. And
let's go back.
3 years to get the finances of this country fixed. $1 billion of bonds have to do this year. I mean, I don't know if people truly understand the impact of that on being able to manage your money on a day-to-day basis, because if those bonds don't renew, there is no sinking fund. You've heard the...
So, Kenny Anthony, remember, he got voted out, and now the same bonds that he's talking about, it's ripening like a mango, a ripe Julie mango. And guess what? The headache now is a new government, Mr. Chastney's responsibility now to figure out how to deal with this disaster. Remember, Kenny says, we can't get money anywhere. We got to get our physical house in order, and we could not have raised enough money. We had a shortfall. Now, I saw Westy said that I'm an accountant. Yes, I know what he's saying, but you don't know. Hello. But wait a minute, not so fast. You do not need a certificate to understand what Mr. Chastney and Mr. Kenny Anthony is saying to the people of St. Lucia. Nah, not so fast. Not so fast. So therefore, Mr. Chastney, like he said, we got to pull this thing together. It will take us at least 3 years based on what we inherit. Based on what we inherit, it will take us 3 years to at least get the ship floating again. Got it? Now, coming out of COVID-19, Mr. Chastney government was voted out. Mr. Pear got elected, of course. Mr. Pear comes in within 1 year. He's claiming success. Yes, we turned the economy around within 1 year. Everything was fine. We have so much money. We have surpluses. Tourism is bursting at the seams. Business is rolling back. It's raw. It's booming. Remember that? You remember, of course. But you St. Lucians have a way of forgetting. Is that true? Yes. Many of you forgot something happened. But don't you forget that Chastney needed 3 years to pull this ship together because it was messed up. Pear comes in, takes over from Mr. Chastney, and claim victory, financial victory after victory. Oh, we are fine. We have surpluses, and it's because of what we did in 1 year. I know it sounds a little funny. But Mr. Accountant, you would be able to say to us, well, maybe it's impossible for any government to turn anything around in 1 year. Well, guess what? Pear did. Why? Come on, let's talk. Was he given a good start by Chastney? Could it be? I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm asking you. Could it be that he got a country that was positioned coming out of a disaster? Much bigger than Kenny Anthony, of course. Could it be that he got a ship that was positioned to take off after the silver lining, after the storm, the silver lining? Could it be that it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day because the storm is gone and the ship got the clearance to take off because the captain positioned the ship so that when the storm is past, it can take off? Could it be? I'm just asking questions, folks. I'm just asking questions. Could it be? Anyway, I got one more for you, and then we'll take your calls.
Was like scoffed and things, which is not true. How can you ever heard Philip GPS cough at anybody?
Not that I know of.
Have I ever told any reporter that that's not your business and I'm ashamed of you?
Not that I know of.
I don't.
But there was hair yesterday spewing all kinds of lies.
John, again, you must go back and do the fact checking.
As a matter of national security, sir, are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
Very good.
Oh, that did not happen there.
It's like scoffed and things, which is not true. How can you ever heard Philip GPS cough at anybody?
Not that I know of.
Have I ever told any reporter that that's not your business and I'm ashamed of you?
Not that I know of.
I don't.
But there was hair yesterday spewing all kinds of lies.
John, again, you must go back and do the fact checking.
As a matter of national security, sir, are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
Very good. Of the contents of the impacts report.
That's not.
As a matter of national security, sir, are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
Very good. So, does it? Let me please allow. As a matter of national security, sir, are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
Very good. So,
like scoffed and things, which is not true. How can you ever heard Philip GPS cough at anybody?
Not that I know of.
Have I ever told any reporter that that's not your business and I'm ashamed of you?
Not that I know of.
I don't.
But there was hair yesterday spewing all kinds of lies.
Lies?
John, again, you must go back and do the fact checking.
as a matter of national security, sir, are you aware of the contents of the impacts report?
That's not your business.
Very good.
There was a little guy behind him saying, there was a guy behind him saying, no, I've never seen it. I've never. And they were here yesterday, you know. Meet the opposition. They were here yesterday spewing lies. Yeah. That was said, yeah. They were spewing lies. And then we got the truth. But listen to this. Listen to this, right? Let me show you something. I went into a house in Dennery. And, you know, Philip Japere said that this is for the poorest of the poor. It's not for people. The house is not for people, but it is for the poorest of the poor. Just give me some time here. The house are not for people. Listen to this. Oh, so this thing is giving me some problem here. Bear with me. Okay, so we have some technical issues there. So Philip Japere just got away. And we'll post it on our thing. Okay, so I got a message here from one of my sources here. Says, I know that voice. So somebody found out who the gentleman was, and I am sure they will let me know who he is. Somebody found out who the gentleman was. Just bear with me, folks. All right. So, okay, bear with me. I'm coming down the road. So let's take your calls at 929-586-1821. We're going to receive all those calls now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into all our missed calls, one at a time. Oops. And there the line goes. Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News Media Platform.
Yes, good night, Brother Garfield.
Good night, my friend. How are you?
Good. Great show. Brother Garfield.
Talk to me.
I just want to remind you on behalf of the youth of this country, while while we are talking about all the different things we can fix, let us remember the things that we cannot fix. See the mass extinction of our race pollution, man. You see the mass deaths you've seen, mass exodus for solutions going to live in different countries, and the mass selling of our passports to foreigners that can be able to vote. So you see the dynamics of what Philip J. government is basically forwarding. When Philip J. gets into power, don't forget after COVID-19, 500 solutions vanished over the past 4 years. How many young men and women have died? And how many young women and women have left the country? So my point, my brother, is that while we see a mass the solution race, what makes solution Lucia, we've seen an acceleration of our independence. Our passports have been sold to Chinese, to different countries. That in the next 2 years, generations and generations from now. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because all the people you're talking about is of age. The Alan Shastney, yourself, it is just not coming up. Who is going to be the backbone of the country to generate the new wealth, the new millionaires? I want to be a millionaire. I believe in a solution. You know what's the difference between America and Lucia? Is the access. If you want to buy a car right now, $500 based on the mileage, you get a car. You want to do this right now. That is the difference. But we can make that access here in our country. We do not need to sell our passports to bring down our heritage, to bring down our heritage on the world, because countries are now threatening us that they will close down our passports because of national security measures. While now we have to war ourselves, killing ourselves. A mass exodus of our people are living overseas, while the Syrians, the Chinese, and all those people do work our part. And what's the amount of files that the Labour Party sold in the past couple of years? Every file have 4 families. Those 4 families in the next 20 years or 2 decades will maybe make 6 families. And while we now the original solution of being exterminated by our own selves. Now, the thing is, Pastor Gospel, is that I believe right now we should build the PIT program. We should go in a measure of leverage by investment. You know, we have our friends like the Chinese thing that they can invade at any moment. We talk to the Taiwanese, hey, come to Solution, bring your technology, bring your know-how, bring everything you know. Let solutions go to Taiwan and study. Let us invest in our country, because look what? Trinidad and Guyana is opening up with gas, oil and gas. Solution already has oil storage. Let us expand our oil storage. Let us become the gas station of the Caribbean, because for ship to leave Trinidad to go all the way to Florida, it's a long journey. Solution can be the stopping point. You can do shipyards to pick up mega ships and small ships, and there's so many different things we can do. But hey, what? I am a dying breed, my brother. I'm from Lucia, but I'm a dying breed. Soon you will be retiring, going to spend time with your family. And you know what? Reno is going to import Indians, because all the solutions are dying. Reno is going to import Indians. The passports are selling, so all the generations are coming in while we are dying. So this is food for thought, because right about now, you living in America. If you have the environment in our country, it's all right. Yeah, industrial, semiconductor, forward-thinking country. You think you would be in America right now? You would love to come and enjoy the sun on the beach and have a home in your native community where you live. But you have to go up there and take it hard. You have to go up there and make it up there with other people, because there's not a better way for us here. Now, you know what that was up in 1997, when Kenny came and brought a dependency on government policy, and men created careers. Philip J. Kenny, all those guys created a career. Kenny Anthony passed the law, which means for government minister for 10 years. You automatically get in a pension. Why? Emma, he could raise the pension from 60 to 65. So that's what I'm telling you. The Labour Party, 1997, 15 years of Kenny Anthony has tried this. 5 years of Kenya. His deputy prime minister came back to power. And caused a disaster. Kenya didn't put back. We showed them that we could have moved back from 15% to 12.5%. And if we had stayed in power, I know Alan Shaffer would have made that reach to 9%. So that we can be more competitive. We have, before I go, let's just want to stop on about something.
Yes, go ahead.
If we do not stop this right now, there will not be a solution or able working solution that can pick up the new reins of building wealth in our country by uplifting the middle class. I listened to the man at Polio show. He said we stop all the laptop programs for the poorest people of Senegal. But I remember every child was eligible under Kenyan 34 laptop. So telling me every child in Senegal is poor. It's true. Because that's the Labour Party policy. To keep it poor and needy. That is why they have all those different bullshit programs. That is redundant. They're just causing more and more debt to the country. Nothing of this doing, you know? My point is, my brother, I believe it is time for us to pass on from firstly youth program to the NYC that is surrounded by sports, all sports, cycling, swimming, boxing, judo, and by the time they reach 18, the program will last until 25, 23. By the time you're 18, you're learning how to build drains, beaches, cars, fix cars, open business, smart business, learning how to use technology with AI, you know, so different things so that we can remove ourselves in a dependency. Because I believe we put our country in a position where, like, we create Singapore, and you know, Taiwan is coming and invest. Everybody's coming and invest because it's just safe haven, right? America itself will look up, and now we're trimming ourselves the gas station of the West because 1,000 kilometers from the Panama Canal, from St. Lucia, 1,000 kilometers from West Africa to St. Lucia to Europe. So we are major. That is why we have the oil terminal that used to be here, and we have to build all those schools across the island because we are strategic island. Philip Jeffrey said that. So if we now reach to a point where we bring value to our country, America will tell us, look, we're moving our visa, you can just come to America. Because America needs us to do business, we need America to do business. That is that's what we have to do. The only way we can do that, we need to disband the CIP program, stop making foreigners get our passports, rebuild our economy, so in other words, can build proper housing for the people, so in other words, the birth rate can go up, so we can start repopulating our country and build a strong workforce. But at this present time, we have a mass extinction of the solution rate. And we are, and while all our people are renting to safe living in America, Canada, England, we in St. Lucia fighting to keep the reef alive. So you almost do what you have to do to come back to the country, to give services to the country, to create the solution dream, just like Donald Trump won the American dream. We have the solution dream as well. We don't need to do
Thank you, my friend.
We just need to make our country great.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. All right, so that was one of our good callers. The lines are open at 929-586. Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
They stream the tears and the cheers so clear. From the church to the pitch, they're always near. Tie the knot or score the goal, my friend. GVD TV's got you till the end. They stream the highs, they stream the lows, from wedding vows to final shows, through life's twists and the path it bends. GVD's there, it never ends.
All right, thank you so much, and we are back. There's an update on the visa situation with the United States and the Caribbean. Some countries in the Caribbean, including St. Lucia. That story will be released at the very soon. I spoke to one of our bloggers and that is Miss Alexander. And I believe that there is something that we are monitoring, and we are not going to surface it as yet, but there is something out there on the U.S. visa between the United States and some Caribbean countries, including St. Lucia. And it sounds to me, I'm going to not break any news tonight, but it appears that there is some movement, and it is not looking good. It is not looking too good. So watch the space, and of course you will get an emergency update when information can be confirmed. All right, so just watch this space, folks, and we're going to open the phone lines at 929-586-1821. We're trying to be responsible with information that we provide to you, friends. Let's take a call. Let's return some of our missed calls.
Good evening.
Caribbean American News Media Platform. How are you, my friend?
Good evening, Honorable Garfield.
Yes, honorable friend. I hear you firing on all cylinder these days, man.
Brother Garfield.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting some news here.
Talk to me.
With this whole U.S. visa situation.
Yes, we are monitoring it also.
It's not looking good.
No.
I have checked, I've made calls, because, we always have to pride ourselves in being reputable.
Yep.
And it's not looking good, St. Lucia. And do you know the Prime Minister's administrative attaché, Mundi Lewis, was on KKR Live just a few minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
And she made what I consider a reckless comment.
What did she say?
She said, if the United States placed St. Lucia on a U.S. visa ban, it is because of the St. Lucians who are undocumented who caused that.
Oh, Ian, what you saying there, is this real or you're playing with us?
Brother Garfield, you can call KKR live and confirm what I'm just saying. I heard it myself. She said, Mundi Lewis, the administrative attaché to the Prime Minister, was on KKR's platform live. He called her, she spoke, and he said he broke the news. She said, if the U.S. government placed St. Lucia on a U.S. travel ban, one of the reasons or the causes could be that undocumented St. Lucians are the cause of that.
And Ian, both of us know better than that. We know that it has a lot to do with our CIP program. And that will be reckless. It will be reckless. And it will be
and you don't
careless.
Have to take that. Brother Garfield, you are a man of integrity. You are reputable. I will not come use your platform to spread misinformation.
Well, can somebody have KKRR to call in, because I don't have him on the other number. If he can call in to confirm that, I am not saying you're giving misinformation, but Ian, I want to confirm that there is some official movement that I personally have in my possession and I'm monitoring. I don't want to run ahead of anything, but there is some movement with the visa situation between the Caribbean and the United States, and people need to be very much aware of these developments. And I hope the Prime Minister is not going to say, I never knew, they never officially communicated with us. And for Mundi to make such a statement, I will have to look at it and see.
If you have KKRR's number, you can call him and put him live on your program, and he will tell you exactly. I follow the program, and I heard her.
Okay.
And other persons who on the platform heard her when she made that reckless statement, to the point where Minova Ward and another young lady chastised her on that same program for that reckless statement she made.
Wow. So let's try to make some connection there on that.
Right. And I just want to say to St. Lucia, It's a sad day. The information that I'm getting from reputable sources with regard to that you guys travel ban, it's not looking good for St. Lucia. And it's not anything to gloat or rejoice.
No.
My heart is breaking right now for St. Lucia.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. You know, like people like you and I, we have the freedom, Ian, but there are a lot of people. It will not be good for them. You understand? It's not.
Yeah, this situation, this can affect a lot of people. Yeah. Or not can, it will affect a lot of people. Sadly. And it's a sad day for me. My heart breaks.
Yeah.
But what can I say, Brother Garfield?
Wow.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
And that's why
but it's not looking good.
That's why I'm holding it back. I don't want people to panic and everything.
No, but at the same time, you have a responsibility, Brother Garfield, to be transparent. Once your information is factual, you have a responsibility to be open with your viewers and listeners.
No.
But St. Lucia is not looking good.
Yeah, but
that's all I can say for now.
Yeah, what I will do, I would wing it out tonight, and then I would have to do an emergency broadcast with that information. Sometime, God's willing, tomorrow.
But keep up the good work, my brother.
Thank you, you too. Thank you so much, Ian.
And you can call KKR, and just to clarify the information that I gave you based on the statement that Mondi Lewis gave on his platform.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going
to do
that right now. Right now. Thank you, Ian. So, folks, just bear with us. Let's just go after these developments here. Now, remember, it's supposed to be our last show tonight, but I have a statement to make to you on that. But just bear with us. Enjoy the program, folks. Enjoy the program. Let me see if I get Kiki, the rural guy. Yakadomi. Just bear with us, folks. We're trying to make connection here. 9:57. Let me see. Hakadomi. Okay, so we're not getting. Let me see if I have another contact for the gentleman. Just bear with me, folks. Okay, so I have one contact for him, and so we'll have to do some confirmation. Hold a minute. Let's see if we can do this. Let's go directly to the live. Hey, Marcel. Yeah, cool vibes. Sagafet. Yeah, man. We'll talk. Just bear with me, folks. Just bear with me. Okay. What's the name? Kiki. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Let's try to pull this up. Kiki. 4 hours ago. Is it the live 4 hours ago? Let's pull it up. Folks, we're going to do this live, okay? In real time. Just bear with me. You're going to hear a lot of... Just bear with us. Bear with us. Just bear with me. I'm trying to find it. Okay, so it's not on that. Bear with me, folks. Stay with us. I'm going to make an announcement in a minute. Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. So I got 2 correspondents there. Let me see. Okay, so let's try another number. And I'm getting some confirmation on some stuff there. Let us try this number. Bear with us. Okay, so he's calling now. Caribbean American News Media Platform. Is this the Roro King?
Hey, what's up, Garfield?
Hey, sorry for disturbing you. Ian just called in, and I'm just trying to get confirmation. He said that you're live on the air, by the way. He said that the attaché to the Prime Minister called your show and said that if there is any visa restriction, that the undocumented people are to be blamed here in the United States. You can confirm that?
Well, the way she said it, she didn't call the show number one.
Mm-hmm.
I called her and asked her if it was true that they put a ban on St. Lucia on the visa, and she said she cannot confirm or whatever. But then while she was talking, I told her I have my sources, and she said to me, "Well, she wants me to give her the paperwork." I said, "No, I know you're gonna say it this weekend." Before the weekend, and you'll address it.
Yeah.
So then she started telling me about why the American want them to do certain things. And she said that one of the reasons is because the people who overstayed, they just want America wants to just send them back. So I told them that's just a little part of the problem. That's one of the things they need to address. So why are you focusing on that little part? Why you don't focusing on the passport? But she kept on focusing on that, and she said, those people in the diaspora. So I said, how can you blame that on the people? She said, well, she didn't tell the people to overstay there over there. So it's like she's making it as if that's the key point. People who overstayed, that's why they have that issue right now.
Right. So it's
that's
not
what I got from
it's
her.
not the CIP. It's really she's blaming. But what are your thoughts on that? I'm sure you do you support that?
What happened?
What are your thoughts on this?
No, that doesn't make sense because that's just one thing. But you're trying to blame the St. Lucia. The Americans gave them a list of things to fix, right?
Yeah.
But that's just one. What Americans tell them, they need to take their deportees. So she's saying they don't know the people from St. Lucia, they can't verify. So I said to her, instead of losing our visa privilege, if they want to send 5 or 6 people to St. Lucia, just take them and you're going to figure it out when they come to St. Lucia instead of losing all our access.
Right.
If that's the issue. But that's not really the issue. The issue is the passport and all that stuff.
Yeah, CIP. Wow.
Yeah, but that's she make it sound like you that causing the problem.
Oh, like me, right? Undocumented, right?
Yeah, people. Like people who she didn't say she said people who overstayed and committed crimes. I guess.
Yeah. Wow, this is serious though. But I have information, but I'm not going to do anything on it as yet. I want to make sure,
Well, they will say themselves.
Yeah, you don't want to panic.
They will
people.
say it before they will say.
So she said that by the end of the week they will make a statement.
No, she didn't say that. No. I said that to her, and she said, well, they will make it if it's there. She doesn't know. I said, you are in the Prime Minister's office. Now you don't know.
Yeah.
But you know why they not do it. She gives a reason.
But you don't know.
But you don't know why. You cannot tie yourself up.
And this is what we're talking about. Lack of information. They're playing with the minds of the people. Just come out straight and tell us what is happening so people can brace themselves, for what is about to happen.
So I told her about it will be tough to come to America.
Yeah.
She said they're going to Africa is joining them now.
Do you know what's going on in Africa and Nigeria? I have Nigerian friends who say to me, man, this is Maji.
So she's going to go to Nigeria.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy for her. I would give her the city that she should go to, not Logo or Logos. Logos, no.
Abuja. She needs to go to Abuja or Benin.
Anyway, thank you so much, man, for taking my calls. Keep up your good work, man. Okay, buddy. Yeah, so friends, that was Kiki RR. He made the call, as you heard, and he confirmed what Ian said. Other people said with the clip just a minute ago. So let me say. So, okay, so folks, we're going to monitor. I promise you I'm going to provide you the information, necessary information, so that you guys can be aware what is happening and brace yourself. But let's talk about the show as we close our show tonight. I did say to you folks that I was going to end the live. It would have been, today would be the last show. I got a number of communications from a whole lot of people. And those communications, I take them seriously. And my commitment has always been to the truth. My commitment has always been to be with you on the platform, of course. What I will say to you, based on all these communications and everything else, I'm going to hold on as long as I can for now with the program. And I will update you going forward, but we'll continue the program on Tuesday nights by the grace of God. And when I can't make it on, I will let you know. But I would ensure that I am here every Tuesday night going forward to be with you, our news family, Caribbean American News Media. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your commitment to this platform. We'll continue to fight together. We'll continue to fight together, stand together as we get closer to October, closer to even next year, let's say, if it passes October, when we will be able to unseat this uncaring government. Call you on the air, Caribbean American News Media Platform.
Well, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. Given our current circumstances in St. Lucia. I'm hearing an echo. I hope you know.
Yeah, that echo is normal from my end. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Brother Garfield, I've been listening to you. I mean, I'm listening to everything, watching everything going on in St. Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a blind man can see what has happened in St. Lucia under Philip J. Pierre and that administration. Philip J. Pierre there are two words that Philip J. Pierre has been using over and over and over and over and over again in the parliament, especially when he is in opposition. And these two words are flashing mirrors. What Tricia did on KKRR show tonight
Not Tricia.
was flashing mirrors. Sorry?
Not Tricia, Mundi.
Mundi, sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Mondi Lewis, what she did on KKR show tonight was flashing mirrors. There are other Caribbean islands where people have gone to the U.S. and have overstayed their visa. Is America putting them on a visa ban? St. Lucians, you need to open your eyes. And you're probably here saying that a lot. But you need to pay attention. Is America putting these other islands, Caribbean islands, who have had people fly to America, overstay their visas, are they putting these islands on a visa ban as well? As well. Or is it just the islands that are participating and have been participating in a corrupt CIP program? Monday, we don't need you flashing mirrors anymore because we see right through these things. We see right through the lies. We see right through Philip JP every time he comes. I call this man the lying pip. I call the Prime Minister of St. Lucia the lying pip. That is how I refer to him. Because almost every time this man opens his mouth, out comes the lies. No truth. Absolutely no truth. So if they can continue flashing mirrors. But may I remind them that our eyes and ears are open. Our senses are heightened. We are paying attention, close attention to what they're doing. We can debunk them in good time, as we've been doing. We can stand up for ourselves as solutions, even if we're not on the streets breaking and burning like they have done in the past, burning sheds and turning Castries into plywood city. Even if we're not doing that, we are attentive to what's going on in St. Lucia. Flashing mirrors. Let me just call a few for the Garfield before I say goodnight. Flashing mirrors. Philip JP says he has 0 rated. That means he has removed that on 70 items, 70 goods. 24 of which, or 25 of which, out of the 70 were already 0 rated. How can you 0 rated goods? How could you remove VAT on goods that did not have VAT on them, Philip JP? How is that possible? 2.5% health and safety levy. Have we seen any safety in St. Lucia, especially over a record-breaking numbers of murders in St. Lucia in July? Have we seen? 2.5, let me repeat that, 2.5% levy for health and security. Have we seen anything happen in security? What we've seen happen in security is that the canine the police dog was murdered. Yes, he was murdered. That's the security. So it's insecurity. Gunshots all over the place, stabbings all over the place. Have we seen that money go into security? Have we seen anything change? Health. Have we seen a thing? Health has gotten worse. This is the worst. Maybe I should come up with a word, worstest. This is the worst health. Worstest, I think, because it's so bad. This is the worst health has ever been. Healthcare has ever been in St. Lucia. There is absolutely no healthcare in St. Lucia. Flashing mirrors. We are paying a lot more in fuel, from $13.65 to a whooping $17.95, which was $18, 5 cents less $18. So let's say $18 collected. This man collected about $5, approximately $5 on every gallon of fuel, and that is not justified. Have our roads been repaired? Aren't we still stuck in the traffic in the north for God knows how many hours on a daily basis, simply because the road reconstruction, the fall-in high road in the north with the 2 proper roundabouts were left incomplete by Philip JP? Is that what we're paying for? We have a hospital in the south called St. Jude's, there's no hospital called St. Jude's. What was it? $265 million was taken and put into little huts that did not meet international standards of for hospitals rather than take $100 million and complete the large building that everybody who travel around the world know that's what hospitals look like or are. $265 million, flashing mirrors. Do we believe $265 million went into the little huts to make up St. Jude's? I don't. I do not. Flashing mirrors. The CIP money does not belong to St. Lucia. We were told so, that the CIP money belongs to the company Galaxy. Galaxy. Today, now that we've complained about where is our CIP money, we're hearing that CIP money is paying for this and paying for that and paying for this. Where are the CIP reports for the last 2 years? Flashing mirrors. How many billions of dollars has gone missing from that CIP money? And in whose pocket is that money sitting right now? We need responses to these questions, St. Lucians. Flashing mirrors. And I can go on and on. The HIA airport. Philip J. Pierre knew very well that the Taiwanese were the ones who gave us that loan. And that the Taiwanese, because they gave us the loan, they wanted their own construction company, a construction company that they knew to come and spend their money to build the airport with our local contractors here, so that they can keep check on where their money is going to ensure that our airports are being built to the standards at which it should have been built. Philip J. Pierre came and made up a lie about this. Flashing mirrors. Up to a day like today, we embarrassed in St. Lucia to come on a flight. When we come into Uonora International Airport, we still have stairs being rolled off the door of an airplane to exit that airplane in rain, thunder, or lightning. We still have buckets catching water coming through the roof at the Uonora International Airport, when by now we should have had a completely new, refurbished, beautiful international airport installation. St. Vincent has one of these, we don't. Flashing mirrors. And I can go on, Brother Garfield. But I will give somebody else. I will give somebody else a chance to call tonight. St. Lucians. St. Lucians. Thank you, Brother Garfield.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Call you on the air. Caribbean American News Media Platform.
Hello, Garfield. Good night.
Good night, my friend.
Let me just.
My love, how are you?
I am fine, thank you, Garfield. But not well. I'm disappointed. Disappointed in our people, but when I say people, I mean SD. The supporters of the United Workers' Party, especially those who came under your live tonight, and asking when you played this unfortunate voice note from this misguided gentleman who thinks that he should tell you what has Alan Chastney done, because this is the problem with the Labour Party supporters. They want to come up and speak. They're in opposition. They were loud and matching and calling all the shows and doing all their things. They weren't quiet at all while Alan Chastney was in for the brief period that he was in. But now that they are in office, they want the opposition. The name of the group is opposition. We are in a democracy. They would prefer them to remain silent, and because you are not silent, they want to bully you, insult you, and do all manner of things. And they don't understand that they are dealing with a more enlightened, intelligent group of Flubber supporters. You see, in Sir John's time, we had the telephone where you roll the thing with your finger.
Yeah.
It has improved now. People are using mobile phones. This is what the new Flubber is. We are the mobile phone era. When these people can ask, what has Alan Chastney done? They are forgetting that from 1997, this country has been in the hands of the St. Lucia Labour Party until 2006. For a brief period between 2006 and 2011, when Sir John came in, he died. There was a bit of a shuffle and thing, and a prime minister was handed, who didn't win, but was handed the position of prime minister. Nothing much was done. The Labour Party came in again. They were there until 2016. Alan Chastney, for the first time, became the prime minister of this country. And he had to deal with 3 years of COVID, although he had asked Lucia to give him 3 years to try to fix the destruction of this country that was brought upon by the St. Lucia Labour Party from 1997 to 2016. Okay? St. Lucians are crazy, or the supporters of the Labour Party, because if the St. Lucia Labour Party is in office now, how can you sit aside and let them tell you that all the ills and the state of the country that it is in, that it is Alan Chastney, and to blame Alan Chastney? Alan Chastney wasn't given the opportunity to do what he said he would have done. You cannot blame him for the state of a country that has been in the hands of SLP all those years. Let them take their blame. Let them fix up what they have done. I am so happy that with them, it seems that you need to play and play and play all those old clips, reminding them, debunking them, showing them the blatant lies and untruths that they're saying. Because in 2016, not that long ago, the man said the country, he couldn't borrow. He didn't have money. The country was in a state. Alan Chastney came in and said, look, give me 3 years to try and take a country that couldn't borrow, that had nothing, that was on the Labour Party for the majority of the time, and let me do something. But COVID hit him. And St. Lucians listened to the craziness, and they voted the United Workers' Party out. They didn't give Alan Chastney a chance. Somehow, I believe, Garfield, that St. Lucians have become enlightened. They have recognized that while Sir John was the best prime minister we had for his time, that brought this country from 64 to the time that he was there, 1997, brought it to the development that we, who as young people grew up, we saw. These young people who grew up under Labour don't know what it is like to take a country from one place and bring it to another, because they just have had it in a deterioration state. I believe that the St. Lucians are going to see that Alan Chastney is the best prime minister to have leading this country, the best leader since the time of Sir John. I believe that they will come to their senses, that when they go to the polls, because the majority of St. Lucians on the voters list did not vote last elections. Okay? So this was not a real win, because the St. Lucia Labour Party, when the United Workers' Party lost in 2021, we lost better than they lost in 2016, with a majority of voters not voted. So I know that St. Lucians, I believe it in my gut, that St. Lucians are aware that the nonsense and the blaming and asking Alan Chastney to, what have you done? What have you done? Look at what he did in the less than 5 years with COVID in there that he was doing. That if you give him a chance, don't come with the foolishness and ask him what should he do. Ask the Labour Party, what have they done from 1997 to now that they're in here from 2021 to what have they done? Compare their legacy to that of Sir John. Don't compare Alan Chastney, who was only in there for that little time, and they like to say 6 years, when we had COVID running in the man's face, and he took on a broke country and a broke government, as attested by Kenny Anthony. St. Lucians, the St. Lucia Labour Party, you are the ones I'm speaking to. You are St. Lucians. This is your country. Put country first and wake up. You have a brain in your head. Stop repeating the rhetoric because you will be like, you're going to behave like the Jim Jones victims. Do not allow this to happen. And whether or not you'll continue to be blind, St. Lucia, the majority of St. Lucians, remember they didn't vote. They're going to come now and they're going to put the St. Lucia Labour Party out. They're going to vote for Alan Chastney. So it doesn't matter what you'll say. This new UWP, this is the mobile era UWP, not the swinging phone anymore. We are going to speak up. We are not going to back down. We are going to do like Garfield is doing now. Remind you. And every time you come up with a lie, we are going to expose you. And no matter how many threats you do and how much you insult us and call us names, we are not bothered because we know that the St. Lucia Labour Party must go for this country to survive. They must go, Garfield. And what your show is very important. And although I heard you said that this is your last show, I am praying that I know the reason, and I'm praying that God will intervene and get some people like myself who will know that this show is important and the value of this show and will help you in the situation that you're going through, and that we will find people which will just be flowing in an overflow, like your cup will be running over. And God will give you the strength to deal with what you're dealing with. Because this show must stay there to debunk the stupidity. And when fools like that call your phone and send nonsense like that, just say to them, okay, God bless you. I hope you are able somehow that He will open your mind to see the truth and to love your country above everything else after God. Thank you, Garfield. I'm just saying to St. Lucians, do not make the mistake of listening to the lies of the SLP. Look at the facts, listen to the information, and understand that if you want to enjoy, those of you who were there, the young ones who were, like when I was young in the era of Sir John, who knows about development, Alan Chastney is the cell phone to John Compton. Allow Alan Chastney to bring our country to where we know he can bring it. The United Workers' Party is going to paint this country yellow, whether SLP like it or not, it is coming. Thank you, Garfield. Good night, and we'll talk again.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much. That was Dr. Fletcher. Now, we have a final call that I got to make. One final call, folks. One final call. Just hang in there. Chibiko. One more person. I promised this person that I was going to reach back out to them, but Doc was able to call in before that. Yes, caller, you're the final caller for the night. Welcome to the platform. You're on the air.
How are you doing, my brother?
Not bad at all. By the grace of God, I am good.
Yeah. Man, watching the video you played earlier, comparing the two administrations, and I'm talking about Kenny Anthony's administration with Shas when he came in 2016. And that interview where he was talking about the CIP, you can clearly see what Chastney was worried about is exactly what happened with Pierre's administration. You know, because, you know, he was worried as to how the money, you know, would be, you know, dispersed or because I remember him saying and I'm paraphrasing, he said something to the extent of the CIP money is not controlled by the CIP people, basically. The money, the way I think Ernest wanted it done is that the money would go into the that fund, and it could be used for anything, basically. Yep. But he was saying no, that money have to go into I think economic fund, where if an investor wants to borrow money, they'll borrow the investor that money and they would get interest back on that out of that money. So basically you're creating an investment out of another investment. You know. So what puzzled me Brother Garfield, is when you assess that situation with Philip Pierre's administration as to how much money these guys have borrowed to make you believe and understand that and make people believe that they are doing so well. Brother Garfield, a man that is doing well, do they hide the figures as of the business? If it's a public business, would they be hiding those figures?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. Now, I want people to understand that there's nothing wrong with the borrowing. If you're borrowing with substance, meaning if the borrowing is for investment and you get return, when you borrow, you make a good investment and then you get return to the country or to the people. It makes the borrowing have to make sense, basically. Now, what I realize with this administration, and not sorry, I shouldn't say just this administration. It was more or less started under Kenny Anthony. And let me tell you something as I'm at it. You know, Pierre is continuing basically the same nonsense Kenny was doing, just in a different light. Just in a different light. Why am I saying this, Brother Garfield? Brother Garfield, these men, their agenda is not to help people out of poverty. Their agenda is to put you into poverty so that they can cling to power, to control people. Now, you might be saying, wow, that's really harsh or that's really drastic, you know, but no, it's true. Let me tell you why. Kenny Anthony figured out if he could take away the powers of the farmers, because these guys were not wearing suit and tie, Brother Garfield, and they were making so much money. Uneducated guys making more money than the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. No, that can't happen. The politicians need to make more money because in his mind, they are the hard workers. The guys wearing the suit and tie, working for the organization, which is the government or the public, they are the one that's supposed to make more money. Not realize, and the people didn't realize that the guy would cripple the economy if they're taking so much to put in their pocket, right? So he orchestrated that whole thing where he can cripple farmers, and they did. So now farmers cannot be independent. Now they become dependent on government. You understand? So this guy, he created this. Why, again, I'm saying Pierre is more wicked than Kenny Anthony. And I'm saying he's wicked because this guy is wicked. Okay? Pierre spent almost 30 years in a constituency. Alan Chastney spent just one single term in government representing the people of Micoud South. And he has developed Micoud way more than a man in Philip Pierre has spent 30 years in his constituency. Okay, make that make sense. If in truth that these guys were for the poor people, as they claim, quote unquote, you know, shouldn't places where they have been holding for years, they haven't even lost Brother Garfield. For what? 20 years, 30 years, they've been running that same seat, not losing their seat. Why are these places not being developed? St. Lucians, you all need to ask yourself that question. Are you all really voting in your interest or you all voting in these guys' interest? Because clearly what I'm seeing is they're voting in the interest of these politicians. Yeah. You know, you don't have to like the man to vote for him. If the man is doing right by you, that's what you need. You don't care if the man drives or he walks. That's not important. The most important thing is he's taking care of business, which is your business. You know, that is the most important thing. Taking care of your business, and which is the affairs of St. Lucia. You know, creating an environment where your kids and your grandkids can prosper. Not an environment where a few people are becoming wealthy and the rest of the country are poor. Is that what we really want? Where we can go to minister's office and they can beat on their chest on platforms to say no little boy can take them out of there. because they basically calling the voters little boys, you know. And I'm quoting from a minister, you know, Brother Garfield. You know, these guys have become so emboldened that they can disrespect the public, the voters. You know, people have become beggars in this country, my brother. You know, because they don't create sustainable jobs for young people or for people in general. You see what that minimum wage created? Shasney knew that. That's why he was very careful in executing the minimum wage. What happened when the minimum wage got executed? Places like the call centers that was paying more, they decide, okay, I'm gonna cut on your wages, but I'm still above that minimum wage. You see what that created? Wow. You see when you sit down and you analyze these things, and these are what the people, they know that people will not analyze these things. You know, they know that people are more interested in the color that they support and not in development that they don't see. Because a lot of the labor strongholds, if you look at it, you can't see the development, my brother. Yeah. You know, what are we becoming? Are we really for country? And you see that your friend that call you and leave you that message.
Oh, not my friend. I don't know the person.
I know him very well, my brother.
Oh, you know the person?
I know him very well. I know him very, very well.
Are you
Know,
serious?
let me tell you, don't waste your time on this guy. This guy, I won't say it on there, but don't waste your time. You see, when people sit and just talk and run their mouth, what is he doing in the white man country if he so dislike a white man? Oh. Why is he enjoying all the fruits of the labors that he's doing for the white man today? He's supposed to go in a black man country. Tell him go to Africa and work. You know, I just hate those guys when they come and talk crap. You know, if you don't have nothing to say, my brother, like you want to tell Brother Garfield, be quiet.
Yeah.
Because clearly you haven't understand what you're voting for. We have a situation where our country is in dire need of development, my brother. You know, the Prime Minister you supporting, he stop a project which is going to be, that is so, the nation is so in need of, that is of the airport. You know, the airport development. He promised to start with a PPP. Where has that gone? What is happening? You see, my brother, let me tell you. I explained from the beginning why these guys love the poor. I explained that to you. Okay? They love the people that are uneducated. They love that. They fester on that. Okay? Because the only people that was progressing in St. Lucia back in the 90s, my brother, the people that was making the most money, the people that was the driving force of the economy in St. Lucia, because at the time, tourism wasn't the main economic driver. We had farmers, okay? And Kenny Anton destroyed that. Now, Philip Pierre is just continuing what his master started. Don't worry about them. Everybody is saying that, oh, Philip Pierre disrespected Kenny. He never disrespected him. They're still rowing in the same boat, my brother. You know, don't worry about that. You see, birds of a feather, they flock together.
That's right.
And these are birds of a feather. All right? Have yourself a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, folks. Thank you so much, my friend. So that was another famous caller there. It makes a lot of sense. Birds of a feather flock together. And he knows the gentleman who sent me the voice note. So I'm hoping that I can get, I have some people are selling me information there on the gentleman, so I know, you know. I believe I know who the gentleman is now. So, you know, let not your heart be troubled, folks. But, folks, it was nice being here with you. I have one labor, I don't want to call him a hack, but I have a labor. I can't take any more calls tonight because I must go. And the phone is ringing off again. So I can't take any more calls, folks. But my closing point is that I have a labor guy here. At the beginning when I met him, he was kind of like in the center of things, but I saw when he went far far right on me. So he says, really want that ambassador job? No. So he's trying to take away the ambassador job from Dr. Fletcher to give it to me, but no, I'm not into any jobs, folks. I am good. I am just doing what I have to do as a citizen of St. Lucia. Of course, I'm one who appreciate and love the country and want to see things, better, want to see people start talking to each other instead of backing and shouting at each other. I want to see people, disagreeing to agree. You have your side, but you can still eat and drink together. You can still socialize together. That's what I want to see. But until then, we will continue to fight the good fight of faith. I want to let you know, folks, that the platform will continue to be called Yellow. Caribbean American News has just started, basically. We will launch a brand new program on Tuesday. Going forward, by the grace of God, God is faithful, friends, and He will do what He must do. And I trust Him. I live by faith and not by sight. And so I am saying to you, folks, that the platform will continue. We are not going to suspend the show anymore. We will be on God's willing on Tuesday with a brand new program called Yellow, of course, and we are going to be firing now again on all cylinders until then. But folks, thank you so much for the unwavering support, love, and commitment, and may you be blessed tonight as you sleep. I know many of you are feeling a sense of relief now. You're feeling happy because you wanted to know what in the world is going on there. But Caribbean American News is code Yellow and will continue to fire on all cylinder. However, I want to warn you folks, there is I'm hearing a new political party that is popping up. I believe I'm hearing with ex-UWP supporters. I want to let you know, friends, don't be distracted. There are two horses in the ring right now. That is the St. Lucia Labour Party and the United Workers' Party. Do not spoil your vote. Do not get distracted by individuals, some, I believe, who might just be disenfranchised or just want to shortcut the process, that is there. You're not selected to run. It's okay. Move on. But to try to spoil things by creating another party and to get new parties have never survived in St. Lucia. And my prediction is that there's going to be only two votes, the United Workers' Party and the St. Lucia Labour Party. If you feel that you should vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party, you vote for them. If you feel that you should vote for the United Workers' Party, you vote for them. But no one is going to spoil their ballots. And I'm going to have an entire segment on how you should vote, what things that you should do first, and it starts with prayer. I'm going to say it again, there is only two horses in this thing. This is a crucial election. Don't let anyone come to your home and tell you Shastney not good, this one not good, Guy not good, vote for us, we are good. No. You keep your head still. Keep your eyes forward. Press along, soldiers, press along. And you will be victorious once you come together and you stay the course, you remain focused. Again, don't allow any new party that just popped up yesterday to come and tell you that the United Workers' Party pardon and they're the new United Workers' Party. One United Workers' Party. That settles the story. All right? And sometimes some of you got to expose some of the unfruitful work of darkness. You got to expose it. You got to rebuke it. If anybody comes again and whisper to you, rebuke it. You are United Workers' Party strong. You are yellow code. You are not orange code. You are not pink code. You are not blue code. There's only two codes, red and yellow. And my prediction is that there's going to be a yellow storm that will cover the map of St. Lucia in yellow. All right? So stay still. Be still, the word of God says, and know that I am God. He sets up and he puts down. But don't let nobody come and malmene yourself in this fight. No. Let them stay in the back, in their private rooms, try to convince some wandering UWPs to come over to their side. Let them continue there, because everything that happens in darkness is exposed, of course. Ain't nothing new under the sun. And they come with a big spark, and then they end up with only smoke. So stay the course. And if you were hearing me and you were a United Workers Party, you were a rep in the party, or you were a candidate to place your name in there, and you're doing all this foolishness right now, this ain't no time for foolishness. If you understand the call, if you understand the assignment, and if you believe that the St. Lucia Liberal Party need to be removed, then you can't point your dat at the United Workers Party. Your dats should be pointed at the St. Lucia Liberal Party. Your efforts should be pointed at them, not the United Workers Party. So I personally stand to condemn. Yes, it's people's freedom of choice, but I condemn the idea that you want to come in now and say you are new. No, you're not new. You are UWP, maybe disgruntled, and maybe just don't want to work with some people in the party. And I'll tell you, the party has its problems. And I fought behind the scenes. I do fight behind the scenes with some of these problems. But I say to you, you're not going to get me fighting here. But all I'm saying this publicly to you, to say to you, be on guard. Because there are some mischievous individuals who are being fueled by certain gas stations, and they will only blow up themselves. Stay the course, friends, united and strong. Peace. I believe I have done what I had to do here tonight. Blessings to you folks. Have a beautiful night. God bless you.
They stream the tears and the cheers so clear. From the church to the pitch, they're always near. Tie the knot or score the goal, my friend. GVD TV's got you till the end. They stream the highs, they stream the lows, from wedding vows to final shows, through life's twists and the path it bends. GVD's there, it never ends.
Media, your Tuesday night power hour, live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Oliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you. From politics to the economy, community stories to international headlines, we cover it all with real talk and real insights. Stay informed, get the facts, deep out of the conversation. Don't miss out. Set your reminders, share with your friends, and tune in. Caribbean American News Media, the news you report. Caribbean